Hello, Bill Jones again. Recapture Federalism. Recapture Federalism. Recapture Federalist Papers 51. Talking about communism again. Always talking about communism and treason. Treason. Yep. I've been talking for a long time. I mentioned in one of my previous presentations, I had been with HostGator, my site. Then about 3 years ago, I switched over to GoDaddy and started doing videos as a regular platform. One of the first ones I did was April 2013, where I first mentioned treason in the title. And I've been 3 years been doing it. Been 3 years. Nobody in the mainstream press contacted me and said, "Hey, Bill, hey, we're talking about treason. Well, we like to hear about the treason." No. Now, on January 25th of 2016, I finally got fed up. I'm going to take nobody else talking about it. Man, I'm going to make me history. I gave a notice to 7 people. Supreme Court Justice John Roberts being the most prominent, the high-ranking one, along with Paul Ryan, Speaker of the House, and the Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. They were the 3 highest, and the head of the FBI, James Comey. They all received it by registered mail February 1st. Haven't heard from any of those 7 people. Nobody contacted me. The way the law is, if you know about treason, you're supposed to do something about it. They haven't contacted me. Which means, if they don't contact you, it means they're treasonous themselves. They're treason. And I just did a one yesterday, a filing, and I went over it. And treason, what they're doing is treason. They're giving up the American Constitution and substituting the Communist Manifesto and the guidelines of the Communist Party, 1921. Prior to 1921, they had other tactics and strategies. 1921, the Communist International came out with these. And they're pretty good. They're really good. Got communists all over the world, treason all over the world. Why? Because they don't enforce the law. But I digress a little bit. I, William R. Jones, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, so help me God. And I do this every presentation. Every time I do a video, I do it. And I say, July 1965, I joined the Navy. First time I took the oath like this. First time I took the oath. Again, support and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And, yeah, those 7 people, apparently they're domestic enemies to the Constitution. But I'm going to talk about some other ones today, too. the press. The press. I've been trying to get the attention of the press to put me on or what have you, and I haven't gotten anywhere. And in Chicago press, especially, I thought, well, we'll start in Chicago because I'm right here in Chicago, and I listen to all these people. I've listened to them since I've been anti-communist, 1960. I've been listening to them. And they don't ever talk about communism. They don't ever talk about it. In fact, they, in the 50s, with McCarthy and McCarthyism, oh man, don't talk about communism. And with the press, oh, they McCarthyized them. Yeah. Which is a character assassination of somebody who talks about communism. Now, why wouldn't I be afraid? I mean, they're going to come down on me, aren't they? No. Because I fought communism. And we were discriminated against in the 60s, the military, the police. That's what I'm going to talk about. The military and the police discrimination. Against those people who took oaths, who fought communism, who are fighting communism now. There's outsiders and there's insiders. Defining existence under Lifton's thought reform. The press is insiders with the communist. Okay? And you don't hear anything about communism. And to be a communist, you're the enemy of we the people. And we the people are outsiders. The insiders, I think I said outsiders at press. No, they're insiders. No, they're confusing. They make you think that they're for the we the people, but they're part of the enslavers of we the people. Also, outsiders are police. Since I filed, I belong to VFW and got a VFW magazine. Got police officers on the front there. I got a big article here with veterans and law enforcement, a force for good. And they are. They're good. I know that all along. Force for good. You know why? They're outsiders. And since the press is insiders working for communism, they're the enemy of the police and law enforcement. There's an interesting article in here, and I haven't read it, but I see the little chart there. 10 law enforcement agencies with the highest number of gunfire deaths. The first one is the Chicago Police Department. Year first, 1872. Now, Chicago was formed up in 1839, incorporated in 1839. The first death was 35 years or whatever. But man, they've made up for it since then. They're number one on the list. 377 killed in the line of duty. I didn't realize there were that many. But I'm not surprised, because since 1965 and the revitalization of the insurrection, and people like Jesse Jackson and Farrakhan and Elijah Muhammad, the Black Panthers, Beyonce, Black Panthers, the NFL, Black Panthers, promoting the Black Panthers. Interestingly enough, SWAT teams were formed up in 1969 in response to the Black Panthers out in California. Because they're enemies of the Constitution. They're communist. Yeah. And how's the media involved in this? Well, they're accessories to the murder of these people. Yeah. 18 U.S.C. Chapter 115, treason, sedition, and subversive activities. Yeah. They're part of the subversive activities of treason and sedition. Huh? Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I remember I talked about 1886 in Haymarket Square in Chicago. First cops killed in Chicago. 7 of them. They're part of that 377 killed by explosive dynamite bombs. Yeah. Democratic Party is a communist party. And you don't ever hear it talk about that by the media in Chicago. I've written stuff about, I've done videos on this Chicago Tribune, how they were pro-communist in 1969 when I was in Vietnam. But here we go, I digress again. I'm good for digressing. It keeps, we all keep in the same subject area, but I digress from 18 U.S.C. 115. Treason shall suffer death. And then, rebellion, insurrection, misprision of treason. You don't do that, so you're then treasonous. Because you don't talk about it. Seditious conspiracy, that's, or by force to prevent, hinder, or delay the execution of any law in the United States. How about the Constitution? How about the Constitution? Ensure domestic tranquility. Ensure domestic tranquility. You don't do that, do you? You don't do it in the press. And you don't say nothing about the public officials in Cook County do it. Democratic Party, political party supremacy. Page 25 of Communist Manifesto. And then here we go, 2385 section, advocating the overthrow of government. And this is what the press does. All the press. All the press. Nobody's talking about treason, so they're going along. They're talking about treason. They're going along with overthrow. And here's, we're going to talk about death of police officers. Whoever knowingly or willfully advocates, abets, advises, or teaches the duty, necessity, desirability, or propriety of overthrowing or destroying the government of the United States or the government of any state, territory, district, or possession thereof, or the government of any political subdivision therein, by force or violence, or by the assassination of any officer of any such government. Wow. Wow. So we have police officers, 377 of them. I wonder how many of them are political, by gangs, and who are terrorists, by the way. The state legislature declared street gangs as terrorism, and yet street gangs exist. They're tolerated. They're encouraged by the black Muslims and black community organizers like Jesse Jackson. Oh, the president. He was a community organizer, communist community organizer, wasn't he? You didn't tell anybody that, did you? Just like now, you don't tell people about Bernie Sanders as a communist. Why don't you tell them that? You continue the discrimination against the military and the police by lying or by omission. Lying by omission. You're accessories to the murder of police officers. And with that,